So, I guess this video is going to be about, partially at least, my upbringing. I mostly just want to talk about a few things. So, I just want to talk about this memory I have of, we didn't have enough food one week. Like, as a family, we didn't have enough food one week, or that's what I was told. And so my dad had me go to McDonald's and beg them for, like, a big meal, like a family-sized meal. And eventually, the people at McDonald's got me the meal. And it was pretty big, so I just carried it out to the car, and then we drove home. And here's the kind of scary part. Like, at least I thought it was sort of like freaky when I was a kid, and it still kind of is. Still kind of haunts me. When my family started eating it, they started like almost like celebrating that we had food, but I'm pretty sure we had like money for food, but my dad wanted me to go get McDonald's that way. I'm not really sure why. And I remember they joyfully, ecstatically ate, and I just sat in this chair in the corner and wasn't allowed to eat. And I don't really know why. Just my dad can be sort of a cruel person. So, yeah, I just remember they were smiling and like laughing and like but like in a really like obnoxious, extravagant kind of way. Not really extravagant, but like over the top, you know, like it just like really crazy. And that reminds me of an anime I watched where, the Spirited Away, where her parents turn into pigs and eat like slop from off a table or whatever. That's pretty much what it was like. Like it was like watching that. And growing up, I was always really thin because I wouldn't eat much, just because I didn't want to get fat like they were. And my mom wasn't too fat, but she was just kind of like a healthy weight. And my brother was really fat and just kind of listened to my dad too much. And my dad was really fat. Now my brother... Here's another thing. I always avoided my brother. He's younger than me, but anytime he'd want to hang out, like I would just say no. I don't want to hang out. And sometimes we would hang out and stuff, but I just didn't want to because he reminded me too much of my dad, which isn't really fair, I guess, because it's not like my brother was always wanting to. It was kind of like he always wanted to eat, like, a lot. I just didn't want him around me. Mostly because he reminded me of my dad, and I really didn't like my dad. I remember always watching movies with my dad, but usually they were, like, horror movies or action movies. And I didn't mind watching the action movies, but I don't like horror movies. Anyway, like, yeah, and then he'd always like whisper stuff in my ear and stuff, like about like just to try to scare me, you know. It's just like it's really fucking annoying. And I always saw my dad as more of like a pest than like anything else. Like he just seemed like an annoying bug. skip forward to 2024, and I'm actually kind of overweight right now, but even at the weight I'm at now, I'm not even close to where my brother got or my dad. Like they were both like 350 pounds. I'm like a little under 250, which isn't good, but like, yeah, I never thought I'd get fat. But I've been fat like 3 times in my adult life, and that's the first time was just mainly because I had to live with my dad in New York for a year. Just life circumstances, and he just overfed me. And there wasn't really anywhere to like exercise nearby, so I just ate and sat around. And then I got fat at my mom's once too, just because I laid around too much and was kind of afraid to go outside. I made a video about hikikomori. I was like hikikomori in America before it was popular, which is basically just NEAT, but NEET, but they're not exactly the same thing. I'd say I'm more hikikomori than I am NEAT. But if you're hikikomori, then you're technically NEAT. So it's just more people say NEAT in America. Anyway, that's a little bit about my upbringing. Just not a scenario, but something that happened when I was a kid or whatever. But I remember them eating at the table, like almost hysterically, like laughing, and that I didn't get any food. And I actually wasn't jealous. Like I was hungry, so I was a little bit like, not really angry, but just like, I was just kind of, I've always had a lot of deep thoughts. Even as a kid, I realized like I didn't have to like yell back at them that I wanted more food. Like I figured I'd get more food eventually. I just stayed calm and watched as they devoured a table full of McDonald's. I've never come close to doing anything like that. When it comes to eating food and gaining weight, just holy shit. Anyway, that's the main thing I wanted to share in this video. Alright, thanks for watching. See you later.